What's up, people? We are back in the building. Act 2 podcast, episode 68. We are back in the building. It's your boy, International Walt.
That's a good one. 68. That's like 68. Now, owe you one.
Okay.
And it's your girl, Chocolate Tosh, the co-hostess with the mostest. I'm going to be Chocolate Tosh as long as I have this tan.
What's up, people? We are back, hanging out off a little leisure time, We back. You can catch the podcast on Act2podcast.com. You can catch us on Facebook. You can catch us on Instagram. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on YouTube, not YouTube. You can catch us on Google Podcasts. You can catch us on Anchor. You can catch us on Radio Public, TikTok, and Breaker, and Spotify. You can catch us on all those platforms. Y'all really need to go get that episode 67. That was dope. And good conversation to have in your household, you and your spouse. So y'all really need to jump on that. And it's a lot more of those coming with really useful topics.
Yeah. And just a shout out to Gia and...
Sometimes, not to cut you off, we do evergreen material, everyday shit that people can talk about. But that was something that you can, take home with you.
Yeah, and again, just a shout out to Gia and DJ Envy. Another couple out there celebrating Black love, also having conversations that for some people may be difficult to have, and we love to embrace. I don't ever even want to say those difficult conversations because for us it's not, but we understand for some people it may be. But I definitely think, and I encourage you all, I know we always say we don't tell people what to do, we just tell you what we do and give you our opinion, but I encourage you to have those conversations, as adults, being in relationships, hopefully happy, healthy relationships, you're being satisfied and not just, with material things, but overall satisfaction. And if you're not, you shouldn't be afraid. That's why I think it's so important for couples to be friends, because I'm not afraid to talk to any of my friends about something that's important to me, my husband being numero uno. So I think that's why it's really important to be friends, so that you can have that communication in your relationship. You don't want, it's not, the intent isn't to hurt anybody's feelings.
No,
but
the intent is to get better.
Yeah.
That's all. Is to be the best version of yourself to your spouse. That's the goal. I thought that was the goal for everybody. If not, it should be. And we're specifically, you can have spiritual satisfaction and mental satisfaction, financial. But we're specifically talking about sex this time. Yeah. Just not in a vulgar way. But specifically sexual pleasure. Like, what do you like? What don't you like? Is your man doing it right? Is your woman doing it right? Are you afraid to tell him or her this need to change? Or have you been going along? Do you fake orgasms like guys and girls? So that's a great conversation to have.
Last thing, you may be approaching the conversation because maybe you're not satisfied, but also, even if you are satisfied, approach the conversation to make sure your partner is, because you may be thinking, I'm all good, I'm doing everything right. But your partner might think otherwise and may have some valuable feedback for you.
And it's about being direct in what you want, but not being ignorant and not hurting somebody's feelings. So you can be direct and to the point, but also know who you're talking to. You want to lay down with this person again, right? All right, so don't hurt their feelings. Mm-hmm. How are you?
I am doing well.
No! How are you?
Please don't ever audition for a movie role.
Oh, I'm a good actor. I could turn it on and turn it off. I can.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, I can turn it on. I'm a thespian, babe. I do everything well.
Do you like me to use my British voice?
No. No.
I'm doing well. Mentally, okay.
Give me some numbers.
Mentally, I'm going to say I'm an 8. And I know you're probably thinking wow, you just came off of leisure time, you would be better. I think leisure time was awesome, but it was also a wake-up call that I need to dedicate more time to my just overall well-being, not allowing myself to be so exhausted and overwhelmed and, that sort of thing. So that kind of has, it's like 6 in one hand, half dozen in another. Grateful to have that leisure time, but it also being like a wake-up call that, and not saying, you need more vacations. We all want that, but just really having downtime to shut it off sometimes. So that's why I'm an 8
Gotta
because
reboot the router every once in a
it's
while.
really
You know how the
making me.
computer gets slow, it ain't running right, it just ain't as fast as yesterday. What you do? You unplug that son bitch. Well, I'm serious.
Yeah, definitely.
You unplug
Definitely.
that son bitch.
But I'm an 8 and I feel good. I do feel good.
Finances.
My finances are a 10. I don't have no complaints about finances. Had a great vacation. I'm a simple girl, I think. He always says I'm not. You know, I don't need a whole.
Bougie.
But I mean, I don't need a whole big to do. Like, you know, we had a great vacation. Anything that I needed or wanted, I mean, would have been provided for. I just wanted a great massage, which we had on the beach, butt naked. It was so nice.
It was.
Oh, it was
It
so
was
nice.
Stark out there.
Yes. And I'm
Dang-a-lang-langin'.
The lady said, "Oh, take off your clothes to your comfortability." Ma'am, I want to be 1,000%
I've never been that
comfortable.
old in my life.
So when you come back in this beach hut, you will see how comfortable we are. But yeah, that was
Work.
good. Work's a 10 because I ain't there. I ain't thinking about it. I ain't worried about it. Whatever's happening, if things blew up, I don't know and I don't want to know.
Cool, move on. Physicality.
Physicality.
What your body be feeling like?
I'm going to say I'm a 7.
A 7?
Is your brain connected to included in your body?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a 7. I'm a 7 because you know my brain is still no. I'm gonna say a 7.5.
I'm gonna bump you up to an 8 because I know why you saying you a 7.
All right.
Because you smart, Tosh. It ain't nothing the matter with you. Okay?
I know.
Ain't
I've been
nothing
worried
wrong
about my
with you.
brain, y'all.
Okay, you smart, you sharp. You just need to exercise your brain a little bit more.
Stop you making me teary eyed. I've been worried about my brain. I've been having some memory issues, y'all. And it's been scaring the hell out of me. I'm going to see a neurologist because I can't preach one thing and do another, but I've been worried about my brain. And I just feel like I want my brain to be okay. I'm laughing right now, y'all, but I'm really a little worried. But I got the best support system in the world, so we're going to be all right. We was doing some math problems today to help, you know. And I think it's important we get so wrapped up in these phones and technology, and he fusses at me all the time. And maybe this is just the chicken coming home to roost. Is that the right saying? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. And me really realizing I gotta shut down. I will tell y'all this, you know, during leisure time, it was not great Wi-Fi. So I did not use my phone for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. For 5 days, and I didn't care. Like I prayed, hope that my family, you know, my loved ones, everybody was good. If they weren't, it wasn't anything I could do about it anyway. But yeah, like I didn't use my phone because it was just kind of shaky, but I really needed that, and I'm going to do more of that. So those who love me and know that I love them, I ain't going nowhere. But if y'all hear from me lessons, I just have to I might write y'all letters. Because I've got to put my phone down, something that's frying my brain, and I don't like it. But other than that, I'm good.
Cool.
How are you?
I am. So what was your physicality?
My physical, you bumped me up to an 8, so I'll take an 8.
So you got an 8 for that. Mental, I am a 9. That's
awesome.
Feel sharp. Had a great vacation. Hit my head is just clear. I haven't thought about work in days. And I have a few more days not to think about it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's an 8. Finances, about a 9. You know,
that's awesome.
Been doing some dipping. But other than that, a 9. Work, 0. I ain't even. You talking about a 10, like 0.
That's 10 meant I felt good about it, but 0, it ain't even on the radar.
I don't know how goddamn good it is over there. It could be, that shit could be gone. It could have closed down. I don't know. So it's a 0 for me.
How you feeling physically?
Physically, I'm okay. We spent a lot of time in a place where water was scarce, and I could feel it in my body, like me smoking and not that I didn't drink, but not having water as I do every day. I could feel that shit in my back, in my bones a little bit. That's why at dinner I didn't even drink the ginger ale I just drank water. Like I wanted to get some water up in me. And I do feel it now. Like I do feel it subsiding a little bit.
You know, society is so conditioned to people drinking alcohol we really have to change the narrative, because this is no shade to people who drink alcohol. It is what it is, but that's not everybody's story. I know and love people who live a life of recovery and they don't drink alcohol. And of course, if there's people that are taking medication and can't drink alcohol, people that are pregnant and can't drink alcohol. We just don't drink it because we don't, some past history, not no alcoholism or anything like that, but we just stop.
But still, we have empathy for people who do, like you said. We know people who are in deep love who are sober, and to think like we showed up to a place where they invite you in and orientation, and they hand you champagne, and
Like
we
straight
just
out
thought,
the door.
we just thought like, damn, what if you got some people in recovery who don't drink, and then you come in enticing them like that, and you in a nice place, you kind of looking like, damn, it's only a glass, like we here, I feel good, but that could be 25 years of recovery down the drain, or it could be 4 days.
And
you know what I mean? It don't have to be years. It could be 4 days of you recovering, and bam, here you go.
Yeah.
You sipping again because it was put in your face like that.
And where we were, the mini bar. Now, the mini bar selection was amazing and free. There were some options that you could pay for. I guess it was like a premium level of alcohol, but there were a lot of options that you
Bottles.
that you could they would refill your mini bar with every day. I'm talking about alcohol, soda, no water. Water was not an option. So you will fill this thing up with beer, with wine, with champagne, some rum,
Ice, no
all
water.
these different things, but Coca-Cola, but no water bottles like that would. Yeah, but again, that's just society just being so used to people feeling like they need to imbibe or imbibe. What's the word? Imbibe.
But
Imbibe
also,
to
it's
have
two
a great
different
time.
Societies, though. So you don't know. Like I said, water was scarce. I didn't see people on the beach drinking a whole bunch of water bottles like they got them from where we
was
staying.
buying water bottles,
Yeah.
and they were cheap. They were huge and cheap, but they just didn't offer them for free.
Yeah. Wows and woes.
The wow was just, of course.
So we have the same wow, so we can.
Yeah, it was vacation, but it was also God always being on time for us, because we will say this: we had an amazing time. It wasn't what we thought we wanted going into it, but in the end, it was exactly what we needed. So, previous vacations, we've been places where it was a good vibe, a little hip and happening. And we got to this place, it was like.
Hence us staying on the hip strip last time.
Yeah. But even the other place wasn't, it
Right,
still was a little more vibe. We got to this place and it was like, oh, welcome to the Love Boat.
Mm-hmm.
And completely different vibe. But in the end, it was like, aha, this is what we really needed, because we probably would have been, more energetic, but we really needed that relaxation, that reconnection, that refresh. So that was the wow, vacation, but also seeing how God gave us what we needed, not just what we wanted. So that was, for me, the wow of it.
Whoa.
The woe, and I don't, okay, so the woe is for me seeing the difference in, I don't know if this is a cultural thing or what, but people don't tip on vacation. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to leave it there, and I ain't going to go too deep into it, because I mean, that might be a discussion you want to have, but that was just the woe for me, good, bad, or indifferent, just seeing, I don't know if it's a cultural thing or not, but I'm going to just leave that there.
Wow, for me was vacation, obviously. Being able to go to these places I've never been before, never even thought I would be able to touch down on, is special to me, and I know it's special to you, just being able to take you places. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel fresh, reconnected. Like you said, we walked in and was looking for kind of the previous vacation we had, where it was a lot more abundant of people and hip and music and
people that look like us.
Yeah, I ain't, this was more of 80-20 maybe 85-15 of the Caucasian persuasion.
Oh wow, I would have said like 95-5.
Okay, well we can go that high. I
Yeah.
was trying to give it a little break, but I was there. 95. I would say 90-10.
Because the people that we saw that looked like us were the same people we kept seeing. It was like 3 or 4 other couples that looked like us compared to 200.
I would say it was like 10. Because I seen some on the beach that we wasn't seeing inside that was staying in the same place.
So 90-10.
Yeah, I would say 90-10. But that's a huge
disparity in numbers.
But we found out some information that, this place, a lot of Caucasian people go there. Like, it's kind of their thing.
A tradition.
Yeah, it's kind of, we met somebody that was there 22 times. I mean, 22 times.
And met another lady. This was her and
she was
her
there
husband
5 times
in 12 months.
Yeah.
Same place.
Yep.
And no shade. Vacation is vacation is vacation. Some people would like the same place.
We're all creatures of habit. You get somewhere, you like it, you want to go back. But 22 times?
A moniker that I would like to have attached to my name is World Traveler. Like, I want to see... I want us to see the world.
Records for going to the same place.
How many times you go there? Yeah. I mean, if you find a place you like, that's all well and good, but the same damn place.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
If it's nice, it's nice. It's paradise. And you figure if it's limitations or reasons why you can't go other places, fine, sign me up. I'll go back, and we will go back again, in the future. But 22 times or 5 times in 12 months. I mean, literally, this is April, and this lady told me that she had been there February, October, July, and April. Same damn place. Some people are creatures of habit, like you said.
Everybody is. I mean, when you like what's comfortable and you like what you like. And then if you, like we said, we thought it was a different star hotel. I mean, resort. But it was more like a 3-4 star resort, but they gave 5-star service. So that's what, it leveled it out. Because the decor was kind of dated a little bit, and it wasn't as luxurious with glass and marble and all this stuff that we're accustomed to, but it had 5-star service.
I will say this. The resort, I would say, was a 3.5-star resort. However, the service, the cleanliness was 5-star across the board. It was a 5-star experience at probably like a 3.5-star resort. But that 3.5-star, it's just probably because of the decor. It's a brand that has some tradition to it. So they just ain't spent no money in updating it, but it was clean as ever. Yeah. So, I mean, that...
And it had, the finer things in it. It just wasn't the top of the line.
It wasn't as luxurious as some places that we've been in the past. Yeah. One thing that I think that resorts, hotels, whatever, across the world should have is comfortable balcony furniture. Mm-hmm. Y'all know we talk about balconies. We like a balcony. But outside, even if you... Even if you're just chilling on a balcony by yourself, comfortable balcony furniture, it should be a must. One of the things that we talked about, we learned from this vacation, and we're learning as we go along in life. Y'all know we are new to the world travels, and we're creating our list as we go along of just things that we like, that we need to have. All inclusive. I won't say it's a must, because I know there are some places like Puerto Rico doesn't offer all inclusive, but we still like Puerto Rico. But if it's an option, all inclusive. And I'm sorry, y'all, no shade, but adults only.
Yeah, gotta be adults only.
That made a difference, and this is our second adults only resort, and I like it.
It makes a difference. It does make it. The beach balls, the kids hollering. And, me and my lifestyle is smoking. So, it's more free to smoke when it's all adults and no kids running around. Then even adults who don't smoke don't feel like they should say something because ain't no kids around. We all grown here. Like, look where we at. Every fucking body smoking, so relax.
Beach, ocean view is always a must for us. But now we're going to require beachfront. Because they slip that ocean view in like, oh, you see the ocean right there? You got ocean view. Nah, I need beachfront. And again, patio furniture, balcony furniture, I need to be able to luxuriate it. I don't want to just sit in a chair like this. Like, I want to be comfortable. If I want to take a nap on the patio, even though I did still fall asleep in that chair, but I want to be comfortable. So, our list is growing. If y'all have some travel things, do's and don'ts that y'all, have on your list, let us know. And maybe something that we haven't even considered, that, is something that we might be like, that will work for us too.
But it's got to be top of the line. Like, that's just where
4 or 5 star.
That's just where we at in our life. Like, not to shit on anybody else. It's just, we waited a long time for this. And now that it's here, we want to enjoy the finer things, the luxuries of all that shit has to offer. So we spare no expense at that.
Yeah. And, we work hard. So I'm not one who will sacrifice, we can go here and it's real cheap, but I don't feel comfortable. Like, because if I can't sleep in the bed comfortably like I would sleep in my own bed, then it's not going to be a good experience for me. I'm going to be getting on his nerves because he knows I will. Where were we that time when I walked around the floor on a towel? Like, I was like, I'm not stepping on the floor. Like, I'll get on his nerves the whole time. I have to feel comfortable.
Yeah. Places have to be upgraded. I mean, you can't have carpet that's been in a room or a place for 10 years. It's like, okay, you don't want to put your clothes down, your bag dry. You don't know what's been on it.
Staying at any place at the beach and there's carpet in the room is an absolute no. I look at all pictures. Nope, this hotel has carpet in their rooms. Next. That just grosses me out. It's automatically going to be sand in the carpet. Carpet gets wet. It starts smelling mildewy. No carpet.
So we're on the same page.
That's what I'm so happy that, like, we are on the same page. We look for the same things. Like,
my woe is the fact that, and we did it different this time, but when you come back from vacation, you're back in the real world, you back at work. And this time we did it a little different. So it's like a woe and a wow because we, left some time for us to decompress and then get back to work. So that's the wow and kind of a woe mixed together is that when you just come back off of having such a great time and not thinking as much and your brain ain't wired. Then you come back to the streets, you drive and it's like you at alert again on everything. And it's like, damn, shit.
Wah, wah, wah.
Question. So all these algorithms and the Instagram and the Facebook timeline, you scrolling through stuff you like, they send you more of things that you're interested in. They send you more of. Everybody's timeline is different. Is your spouse's mind, yours, is your spouse's timeline indicative of who they are?
Is your spouse's timeline indicative of...
Because we know it's set up where the things that you like and the things that you want to see are the things that's on your timeline.
Right.
But does it mean somewhere subconsciously it's indicative of who you are, or is it just for some people entertainment and it's just the things that I'm interested in, the things that I want to see, or like I said, subconsciously somewhere, it's indicative of the person that you are. So in a sense. And before you start, like, my timeline, where I send you, like, pictures of women. Hey, babe, look at this girl's junk. Or, look at this girl's, her eyelashes are too fucking long. Whatever. You see me like pictures of Gemstar and Gracie Bond and stuff like that. But do you sit back and you think about not just me, but say, like, a guy who likes 44D tits all the time in his timeline and that's all he sees? Is that indicative of who he is, or he just likes titties?
I think that doesn't encompass all of who he is, but it definitely is indicative of a part of who he is. Like, okay, I'm just going to say this. Like you said, algorithms, if no one knows you, your phone knows you. Whether you know that or not, your phone knows what you're looking at. So, I look at your Instagram page, you look at my Instagram page. So we see, like, I might be like, babe, look at this. Or, we looking at each other's timeline because I will see stuff on your page that I won't see on my page because we don't follow the same things. If you have, let's say, a spouse that And that likes, I'm just trying to think of something crazy. Okay, if you're looking at your spouse's social media page and you see a whole
Bestiality.
bunch
No,
of,
you can't see that on Instagram.
yeah, not bestiality. I'm trying to think of something just weird, like
Feet.
feet fetish pages. See, and that's the thing. I never even seen one on there.
Because I don't think you can
That
get,
would
like,
be like I don't want to say a red flag, but it should like raise a little radar to be like, why are okay, here's a perfect example. When you first joined TikTok, I don't know what you were looking at or what you searched for, but scrolling on your timeline was all these construction pages, but in Spanish. But and when I think back in hindsight, you know your friends that you work with, they are Hispanic and
of the Latin culture.
and you know, I'm sure you were looking at different construction pages and stuff, but you remember me saying to you like, why the heck are all of these like home builders, bathroom builders, kitchen builders, but they were in Spanish? I'm like, what did you search for that it keeps showing you all of this? So okay, if you are a doctor and I'm looking at your page, you're like, babe, what are you like thinking about construction? So I think it can be an eye opener for somebody who doesn't know their spouse and they end up seeing something that would be like, oh my God, what are you looking at? So, I mean, I don't think it encompasses all of who you are, but it definitely lets people know.
So you don't think it's entertainment? Like, you think that everybody, like you said, your phone knows you more than, I guess now you could say, a person does.
Because it knows what you're looking at, even if nobody else does.
Exactly. So it knows what you're looking at when nobody's around.
Exactly.
And if your phone knows you and these things are in it or on your timeline, whether it's a bunch of dark dudes with beards for you or you know, thick girl, like, you know, like it's just, it doesn't matter. Like, it's that. So that's not who you are. That's not what you.
I mean, again, yeah, I think it's a part of who. Now, let me say this: you can start looking at stuff just out of curiosity, like on TikTok. I found myself going into a hole looking at blackhead extractions. So I don't think that is indicative of who I am, but it does show.
You like that pimple.
I was going to say yes, it does show. Okay, she has an interest in this, or this page that has 911 calls. It shows, okay, I have an interest in this. Now, you know me, if I look at something one time, you will never see, I don't even want to say, it's about to make me cry. You will never see like rats on my timeline because you know, if I see one post, I'm never searching for that.
You should unfollow that and get far away from it as possible. Like,
yeah,
I want to tell my phone, like, I don't ever want to go back there.
So I think that's the thing. What you search for, you have some kind of interest for whatever reason. Like, you could be a person who's looking at like you know, gun violence or whatever because maybe you're just interested in the news. Not saying that you're a violent person that wants to shoot people.
So that's what I'm saying. So you saying it's all an interest. It's not indicative of who you are. So a person who ingests fucking head off murders and, you know, people dead all the time, that's not in them. That's just an interest they have. Or a person who you know, who looks at feet all day. You think that's just an interest they have? You don't think they really have a foot fetish?
No.
Or like if you was blindfolded and you know me as a person, can you tell? Like if you had to guess, like what's on Jay's timeline? Like you can guess and say this is on his timeline. It's gonna be... So what I'm saying is, can you look at somebody's timeline and be totally fucking shocked? Like, okay, I thought I knew who he was, but why is he looking at this?
You can. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because if you look at something one time, it's not going to repeat it. Like if you look on my timeline, you're going to see a lot of nail designs. You'll probably see like some poetry and stuff from me looking at different pages like that. You'll see some of those pages that may have some women empowerment or spiritual posts. I'm trying to think what else do that's probably what you'll see, a repeat of that. I don't really look at a lot of fashion pages and stuff because I don't really care what other people wear. Yeah, that's probably really all you'll see. I don't follow any of like the gossip pages. Not to say that I don't look at them, but I want to see them when I want to. When I go there, I don't want it constantly on my timeline, so I don't follow any of that. Every now and then, if I get into like my workout mind frame, I'll start looking at different people's pages. So, you'll start seeing that. But again, so if you saw that, you wouldn't be, if you started looking at my page, you're like, babe, why is it all these,
white dudes you looking at all buff with waxed chests
or
with no hair
or
on
all
it?
these pages about thruples, or, all these, different pages about, little people, big world, like that kind of stuff.
Well, I know you're interested in little people, big world.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Transparency moment.
She dated a midget.
That's
all I'm saying. And maybe that's not a good word to say, but she dated a midget.
It was before us. I was probably 18, 19.
And she had interest in a little man.
I met a gentleman. He was a little person.
Little man.
We went out on 2 dates.
What's up, little man?
And that was it.
Tell him about all them electronics and poles and shit in his car so he can drive. Them long sticks and big gas pedals.
You would not have known he was a little person from the outside of the car. But in the inside...
The gas pedals like right under the steering wheel.
They were elongated, and that's how we drove. He was a nice guy. Just wasn't for me.
Okay, so my next question is, if that's your stand on it, right?
Okay, let me just finalize. Your timeline is a representation of your interests. It's a representation of a part of...
It's not a representation of you. It's a representation of your interests.
Of your interests, right. You might be interested in war stories, but that doesn't mean you want to be a soldier. Or, you might be interested in... Yeah, so it's a representation of your interest.
Okay. Can timelines create insecurities in your spouse? And what I mean by that is, if you go to my timeline, you're going to see the gem stars, the best CNNs and all that. Does that mean I want those girls? And can that create insecurities in you? Also, on another dynamic, if you have A cup titties and I'm looking at 44 double Ds on my timeline all day, can that create some type of insecure in you? Or can people not create insecurities and you already have that insecurity?
I was about to say, yeah, you have to already.
I'm exacerbating it. You're saying it already existed.
So I think a couple different components there. One, I know what you like. So when I scroll and I see all these thick ass, and when I tell y'all, he likes women, like I'm thick, I'm beautiful, voluptuous, all of the above. The women that he like are thick. And not no shade to them, like they're beautiful. One thing I will say about these women, most of them, they are thick and no stomach. Like, God was not playing fair, because let me tell you.
Why I look at thick girls? Because you're thick.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. I know what you like. So that's that.
Well, that was part of the first question, saying is your timeline indicative of you? Because that's what
your
I look
interest.
at, and that's what
not saying you're interested in those women, but so it would be more strange to me if I looked at your timeline and you were looking at size 2 women. It'd be like, who are you?
Right.
Like, that's not even your style. I will say about my husband, he is a any titty man. Like, he likes a thick woman, but he don't care if you got negative A cups or Z cups. He like any kind of titty. But I know that about him.
Titty. Like, you gotta give all the titty love.
Yeah.
You can't
All titties matter.
Little titty is a little titty. Like, On her, it's a little titty.
All titties matter to him. He don't care about a titty. I'll be like, babe, she got titties.
No, and
like,
a lot of people might seem like it's a shallow thing because it's a surface type thing, but it's like, no, like if I was a single
like, she's
guy,
a grown ass woman.
yeah, if
she
I was
got
a
a
single
titty.
guy, any woman I met with any size titty, I would not think, oh, her titty's too small, or her titty's too big, or she ain't got big enough. Like, nah, it would just be like, all right, titties is a titties.
And you know what else about him? He's not like he's not shallow in the sense of like, oh, she gotta have a big butt. It's more of a package deal for him, for a woman. She can't have short hair. She got. This is what he likes, really.
I was going to say, she has to look like her.
But I say all that to say, so okay, I know what you like. So you see me seeing you looking at those women, if I was insecure, like I said, they got flat stomachs. I'm a lot of things, but a flat stomach owner I am not yet. Until maybe my next lifetime. But I'm not insecure about that. I am who I am, and I know you love me, and I know, I might not look like them, and they don't look like me, but I don't care about that. You don't even know them. Even if you did, like, I don't care about that. But if I was a woman that already had some sense of insecurity within myself, I'm sure that would probably exacerbate it.
Same thing with the titties, too. If you had A cup titties, and I was on my timeline was 44 triple Ds.
I think anything.
Not like if you had bumps, if you had some.
No, what I'm saying is any insecurity about your body.
Okay.
If you feel insecure about it, I think your husband or your man, your spouse, whoever you're with, looking at that, he could, if he was looking at magazines, if he was in a market looking at a woman, I think it's going to exacerbate that because that's already in you. So whether you got little titties and he looking at big titties, you got big titties, he looking at small titties. If you got no butt and he looking at fat butts, if you got, a stomach and he looking at flat stomachs, if you have any sense of insecurity, that's only going to exacerbate it. If you're not confident within yourself, social media will make you hate yourself. You will pick yourself apart. And as an example, we was talking the other day, and anybody that knows me know I'm not an advocate for plastic surgery. I ain't knocking nobody that has done it, to each his own. But elective surgery scares me. Like being put to sleep is scary enough if you have a medical condition. So to opt to get put to sleep for something, I would love if I woke up in the morning and my stomach was flat, but I ain't letting you put me to sleep to do it. But I said to him the other day, like, damn, I could see how women slowly but surely you start rationalizing it in your head. Like, I could very well see that and understand it.
Yeah.
It's not so much that it's social media, it's exposure. So even if you was getting magazines to your house every week that had pictures in it, even if people was parading up and down your street, it's just the constant exposure. Social media just makes
Isn't that where the exposure is? Because when we grew up, our moms and grandmas didn't have that. Like they didn't have, and it was out then.
But I think,
and I get what you're saying, the exposure to it. They wasn't exposed, but again, social media exposes that.
But I mean, I think social
where
media.
Where else can you digest that? Tons and tons of ads, or all these girls with bikinis with these little marks on the side of them, and some of them even filming their lipos, and girls on planes 50 deep sitting down on their knees. Like, that shit is out there.
I think social media is just the mode of communication through which we receive the information. But no matter the overexposure of the information for anyone, you start feeding anything through people's head. If it was on the news, if on TV they started showing a whole bunch of shows about surgery and people getting their bodies done and all that stuff, I think even that would be an avenue through which they would start changing people's minds and changing the way that people think about it just because of the exposure. So social media just makes it that much easier and convenient for the information to be received. But I think the overexposure of information it people who already have insecurities, and then even if people are secure, it just makes you start. It's that group think mentality. You start thinking, well, if these people did it, if this many people did it, if all these people are doing it,
and all it takes is for a friend, for somebody you know to do it. Yeah. And it's like, okay, now it's really close to me,
and then
they okay. Like I
and
think
you
I
can get
do it.
more direct information about the experience and all of that. So I mean, I can honestly see how people can how minds can be changed, and I don't
so
think
you don't think any insecurity can be created from your spouse's timeline. You think that's whatever it is already in you.
I think there has to already be some insecurity within you, within your relationship, because if you know that like y'all are good.
Okay, so here's a better question. Not even spouses. Can humans create other insecurities in humans, or do you think no matter what it is, it's somewhere it's rooted in you from the start, or do you think a human can create another insecurity in a human?
I think there has to be a window of opportunity, even the smallest window.
Like you have to have low self-esteem, and you have to not feel good about yourself for me to create that.
It doesn't even have to be that deep. That's why I say even the smallest window of opportunity, because I think we all have some insecurities about us in some small way, some people in a bigger way. I, as a teenager, had horrible acne. I worked hard through my adult years to clear up my face, to have good skin. And I was doing great for probably 15 years. Over the last couple years, and I've tried different products. Also, we started wearing masks. Also, age and hormonal changes, or a combination of all of the above. My face started turning on me. And there are times that I have insecurities about acne on my face. But that ain't nothing that nobody can break me down about. Like I am confident in who I am. So it's like, it's nothing that nobody else can say to me. I know it's there, but for some people who might have less confidence or bigger insecurities, that small window can let somebody in and open it up bigger. Now, my small window, sometimes it closes, sometimes it opens, but nobody can make me feel less than who I am.
Right.
But so I say that to answer your question, can somebody else make you feel insecure? There has to already be that small little piece in you.
Well, not make you feel, create one.
Create insecurities.
Create a new insecurity that you thought you didn't even have in yourself, but now all of a sudden you caring about this thing because this guy or this girl drove it into you. Now it's like something that's on your fucking mind.
I think your internal confidence.
But before him or her, that wasn't even a blip on your radar. But now this person in your life for a season or whatever got this fucking thing on you, and it's like, damn, now this shit's eating me up, where I never thought about this.
I think your personal and your internal confidence has to far outweigh anything that anybody else can do or say to you. You made me think about people who a woman might be in a relationship with a man who is emotionally abusive, where he may never put a hand on her, but may make her feel
like shit,
negative
like
about herself. Beat. Whether it's about her body size being too small or too big, about her skin color, or maybe the way she dresses. So any of that. But again, if you're not already mentally strong, then yes, that can wear on you. But if you're in a mental space where you're not even going to tolerate that, like who you talking to? Like
Well, say like you met a guy, or like a intellectual man, and you just didn't have the conversation to keep up with him, or the vocabulary to even have poignant conversations with him, and he would say things to you like, damn, you ever read a dictionary, or damn, like, how don't you know what that means? Or you asked him, what did that word mean? And he said, why don't you just look it up? Like those kind of things to make you feel like, damn, maybe I don't know enough words, maybe I do need to read a book. Like, why we the same age, and why does he know so many more words than me?
But it's a way to go about teaching someone and helping somebody to improve than to be demeaning.
But not everybody does that. That's what I'm saying. When you create insecurities, it's not necessarily a good thing.
What I'm saying is it's a way to go about that without being demeaning. So if you encounter a person who doesn't go about it the right way and they are demeaning, again, your personal self-worth, regardless of how great your intellect is, your personal self-worth should not allow that. So you should separate yourself from that person.
So maybe I was a little bit drastic, but maybe the why don't you look it up part isn't demeaning. Like, what if you just ask, what does that word mean? What if you ask twice a day, what's that mean? What's that mean? And it just got to a point was like, damn, like, why you keep asking what that means? Like, you don't know what anything means.
Okay, maybe I don't, but if we're trying to get to know each other and you like me or maybe say you love me a little bit, then you should be, yes, I can look it up, but we're having a conversation right now. I know, but
does that create an insecurity in you to think, or do you think it would, to say, damn, I asked him, what did this mean 10 times this week? Like, why don't I know? Maybe I do need to look through the fucking dictionary or read a magazine.
But I don't think that. You
don't think that would create that? Not help. You don't think it would create the insecurity in you? That's what I'm trying to do. It
may create the insecurity. However, you have to. I mean, you know that you don't know a lot of words. Mm-hmm. So if anything, it should inspire you to want to learn more.
Or it could be a man with a woman. I'm not just saying a man knows a lot of words. If a man met a woman and she had a bigger vocabulary, would it create an insecurity in him?
It could be one of those things where it should be. I feel like one of those things where you should be inspired. Like, damn, this is an intelligent person. I want to learn more. Sitting and reading a dictionary. I mean, yeah, you just reading words. There's a lot of damn words in the dictionary that you're not going to get to. I don't think that's going to help. But I think asking the questions, what does that mean? And maybe finding ways to help improve your vocabulary, but it shouldn't necessarily create and I can't really answer that because I can't even relate to that experience. But
if I had to guess, I would think that it would, and only because I think we're human and we're sensitive, and I think that if you really like somebody or you really like spending time with somebody and you can tell your intellects are on different levels, yeah, it would be nice if he helped or she helped and said, okay, I'm gonna bring you along. I got you. But if not, and you just feel like, I just think it would create like, damn, why don't I know what that means? Like, we're both 40 years old and she said monolithic and I didn't know what the fuck that mean. Like, why? Or I asked her, what does this mean? Or like I said, 10 times in a week, I asked her, what does this mean? Every time she opens her mouth to me and she says some word I don't know. Like, that will create an insecure, I think, in me. And I have a vocabulary. I know words, but it's like, damn, like, do I know enough? Or I should brush up a little bit, because her conversation is of a level where I don't want to sound stupid and I don't want to keep asking her, what does that mean? Or shaking my head to something when I'm thinking, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
I'll say this. I've never been around anyone that I felt insecure with because of their intellect versus mine. But I have been in a room with people who I know were more intelligent than me in certain areas. I didn't feel insecure. I actually felt like I wanted to learn more from them. Mm-hmm. I'll use my friend Nanette as an example. When I started working at the same company with her, her business acumen, or I don't want to say business acumen, her leadership skills far exceeded mine at the time. And what it made me do is gravitate towards her to just want to kind of observe.
Shadow.
And see how she moved, how she operate, how she handled certain situations, how she responded. So that's how that made me feel. So I can't, it's probably hard for me to answer that question because I've never been in a situation where I felt insecure because someone knew more than me, regardless of what it was. Like, I've sat in rooms with people and it was like, okay, I remember the first time I was involved in an audit process. What the hell? And everybody knew how to do different things.
You told me that when you first went to college, like, you felt like that, like it's past MG, it's past high school. Like, okay, everybody's smart here.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like like you were saying, like that you needed the not the tutoring, but the help.
Yeah.
And if that's not there,
and I didn't feel insecure. What it made me. I didn't feel insecure.
you felt insecure. Well, if I remember the conversation correctly, you felt insecure about the motivation that you lacked, and they still had it, even though the support wasn't there. Like they were just like young kids being adults and going to class on their own, where you kind of needed the, yo, get to school, what the fuck you doing?
And not
type
only
shit.
that, I kind of, yes, I think that's what it was. I didn't feel insecure, like, damn, y'all know more than me. It just made me feel like, yeah, I didn't have the drive that they
Right.
had. So that's probably what it was. Like, I don't even know if they necessarily were smarter than me, but I just didn't have that drive to push myself to the.
But did it make you, when you think back on it, did you feel bad? Or did you know where the lack of drive it came from? So it wasn't like, I can't identify why I'm not motivated for
Yeah.
school. Like, I know why I don't want to do
Life
this
was
shit.
kicking
Yeah.
my ass. Like, life was
The
kicking my
fact that you could
ass.
identify it was like, there's no
Yeah.
insecurity.
So exactly. So that's probably what it was. Like, I was in college. My home life was a wreck. Like my home life, living at home with my parents, was a wreck. Like, so it was like, I'm here. I didn't really want to be here. I wanted to go away to college. I wasn't allowed to go away. I wanted to stay on campus. I wasn't allowed to stay on campus. So yeah, I knew where it was coming from. I knew if I pushed myself, I could have done better. I just had no drive to push myself. And I think it was so much harder when I went to college than I expected it to be. And I just needed to. I needed to put forth more effort, and I didn't want to.
You, in the beginning, I felt like you created insecurities in me by telling me, because it's not like I did anything wrong, like, excuse me, per se, but I only knew what I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking that, I'm being a good man and I'm have these good qualities about myself, but it's not until you say, no, that's not working, or you got to do this better and you got to do that better. Does it make me think and say, damn, like, how fucked up am I? Or am I, like, what level of fucked up are you? Like, do I need to work on this better? Or this is something that I need to pay attention to? And that creates insecurities in you until you get them right. And then it's like, okay, you can kind of fall back on them. Just don't ever, like, that's who you are now.
Okay, and that's interesting that you say that. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, the insecurity is there until you realize the person wants you to do better or do different for your own benefit, not to like beat you down.
Right. It's how you present it to me. It's how you presented it to me. It's letting me know how it made you feel. And okay, like almost like you saying this is my standard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we gonna be together, you can't holler at me. You can't talk to me like this. You gotta show me affection. Like I'm talking about in our beginning years.
Right.
So it's like, okay, those things, although I thought, oh shit, I am affectionate. We do hug, we do kiss, but it was like, damn, she right. Like, and when we're in our early years, it's like, damn, I don't walk past and touch her, or I don't do things like that, where those create insecurities in you where you thinking, damn, like, how am I doing it right?
And I think the beauty in that is that you were willing to learn and to adapt. And some people, I think that's where relationships may go wrong, because they look at it like, oh, you're trying to change me. Well, I am in some ways, if you want to change. If you want this to be who you are, because this is who I need you to be. And if you want to change for me, then that's great. I'll change for you in some ways too, if it's not detrimental to me, because what I'm asking of you is not detrimental to you. And I think that's where people like clash, like, oh, you're trying to change me, you're trying to mold me into what you want me to be. Well, yeah, that's part of it. Like, everybody is not like one size fit all. Like, who you were for someone else, may have worked, but I need you to be something a little bit different. And the same for you. You may need me, so let's mesh, let's compromise.
Did that create insecurities in you? Like me, like even like when we got married, to speed up our relationship, and me saying, okay, I want this in a wife, and I wish you would be like this because this makes me feel good. Like, did that make you think to yourself, damn, like he's trying to change me, but he has my best interest at heart? Does that create insecurities in you, or did it make you feel some type of way, like, damn, I thought I was dope, but I got a little room for improvement.
I think it didn't so much create,
and then it stays on your mind weeks and days and months after because you want an assessment of, am I doing okay?
It didn't
affirmation.
I was gonna say it didn't create insecurities. I think more so what it did is it made me take an introspective look at who am I, what am I doing, how do I change myself to be what you need me to be. That's but make it comfortable for me. Not like you were asking me to do something that would make me uncomfortable, but we're not robots. So I can't say, okay, stop going left and go right and you just turn around. Like maybe going right don't feel right for you. You got to learn how to go right. So that it was kind of like that. Not that it created insecurities, but it did make me seek for affirmation from you just until I knew like, okay, you good? Like this is what you needed me to be. And until it became comfortable for me. I know in us getting married, setting boundaries was really important. And I think in that process, I had to learn, you could ask me to set a firm line here. And it's like, I don't know if that line works for me. And so I had to kind of like slow walk it until I realized like, okay, I see what he wants. He's not hurting me by making this request or by setting, like you said, setting this standard. So I think it was just that, kind of, yielding and bending to find that comfortable spot. So it didn't create insecurities, but it did create the need for affirmation, just so that I know that I am what you need me to be.
That's well said. Do you care about my timeline?
No. I mean,
if you looked on there and you started seeing feet, would you say something to me, or would you just be like, this nigga crazy?
I would probably laugh and tease you because I'll look at
oh my God, why would you tease me?
Like, why are you looking at feet? Like,
just to see if you've been checking my phone.
First of all, I have your page on my phone, so I don't have to go to your phone to look at it. But I don't care about your timeline because I don't care about your timeline. I don't care about your DMs. I don't care about, none of that. I don't worry about that kind of stuff. Again, I think if I had insecurities about us, then I probably would. When I'm looking at you, I'll be like, who is this big booty chick? Like, and the other day I asked you, like, this is a new one. I've never seen her before. Like, I don't care about that I don't care about that kind of stuff.
I don't care about yours either. And I don't even touch your phone. I'll have access to it, but I don't, it's just something I never did is look at your phone. But no, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I just don't.
Now, what if you looked at my timeline and you saw...
I expect to see Idris and Yofi or whatever the fuck his name is.
His name is Kofi.
Kofi. And I expect to see people who
Ralph Angel.
probably look like that. If you were liking something. Yeah, I would expect that. Like, I know what you like, just like you know what I like. So, my complexion with a beard. Well, why you think she like that? Because of me. Why you think I like thick women? Because of her. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I remember, and I think this was probably before, you became familiar with social media and how, because I think I had Malcolm Jenkins. I think I had posted a picture of Malcolm Jenkins, and you was like,
the fire alarm might go off.
Why the hell are you posting a picture of Malcolm Jenkins? But again, I think once you figured out like how social, like I'm just showing him support.
Yeah, I expect to see Clifford Harris, the usual suspects.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yes, I was about to say.
What have you learned?
Wow, what have I learned? I've learned that your brain is stop. Why
My baby's brain is fine.
but you didn't even know what I was about to say.
Go ahead. It's important to the people.
It is your brain is we talk about mental health a lot, but your brain health is important too. And I think that's something that we as a society we don't really think about until something is wrong with somebody. We don't think about how things are affecting our brains, but it's like the analogy you used was appropriate. It's like a computer and it can become overworked, and it's just really really important for us to take care, because just like your feet will tell you when they hurt, your hands will tell you when they hurt from overusing them, your legs will tell you when they hurt when you've been standing too long. And I'm not talking about headaches. I'm just really talking about your brain health. It's really important. So that's what I've learned, that I've learned to be more mindful of how we utilize our brain capacity.
I have learned, and you touched on this earlier, the cultural difference in being someplace. We asked this question earlier on both our Facebook pages, but what do people tip at all-inclusive resorts? And this is mainly because we were there with 90-10 of the Caucasian persuasion. They, could be 8, 9, 10 deep, have a all-inclusive meal, and nobody leave $1.
Not one.
And they had all these people wait on them, and they know they there, and that's how
and
they make their money.
liquor.
And liquor, yeah, and drink after drink, and send this back and take this and give me another one of those. And they got all these people of color on their island taking care of them with, like we said, 5-star service, and nobody. I mean, I seen 10 people get up from the table and nobody left $5. Nobody left $5, and I don't know. I was trying to look at everybody, and I don't know if the black people tipped either. I think a couple of them, they got up and just left too.
Yeah, I did.
And I don't know how people think like all inclusive means tips too. Like there's no metric to involve tips in all inclusive. That's just my opinion. Like I don't think there's a metric that you can add in tips because it's 15, 18, or 20% or whatever you like. But to just go with 8, 9, 10, 12 people, sit down, have a meal, have people come back to the table 6, 8, 10 times to serve you, and you get up and nobody says, hey man, like this is all free. Everybody get $5. Give them $40. Like, I just don't understand that.
And that goes a long way in a Caribbean island.
Yeah.
Not only that, you have beach bars where
we were somewhere where it's different money. So American money was more.
They had a beach bar where unlimited drinks. People just go up all day long. They was just taking their own coolers and tumblers and stuff and getting it filled up, telling them, oh, do this with a little bit of this and a little bit of this, and then top it off with this dark rum and this, that, and the other. And nobody, I mean, and I know y'all probably say, why was we minding people business? But we was minding people business. We people watch a lot. And I think the first or second day, it was kind of like,
the situation. What type of crowd we in?
Maybe we just missed it. And then it was like, okay, we didn't really go down for breakfast until like the last 2 days. They brought continental breakfast to our room. But the like lunch and dinner and sitting different places, nobody they was going to the bar all day. They was bringing drinks to people on the beach. Nobody.
I seen one black couple tip, and that was when we left.
For carrying the luggage.
Yeah, that was the only person I seen. But I've seen countless people just get up from the table, and I'm just saying, you talk about the money is different. So a dollar, $145 to. It makes sense to leave $3, $5, $10. Like for a meal in America, you would have paid $120 for. And I get that $120 is in your all-inclusive package, but again, how do they factor in tip?
No, but I can say just a shout out to my husband. It made my heart feel good seeing him, and I know I'm a person, I don't like to talk about money and what we spend and that kind of stuff, but handing, these beautiful young women $30-$40 in their hand, and like seeing the smiles on their face, and then you come back the next day and they're like, hi, how are you? And not just because of the money, but because they were respectful and they recognized and they provided even better service. Like the one girl, remember, I felt bad because I had to ask her.
She went next door to get ice cream
yes,
to another restaurant.
She went.
But why you think she did that? Because the night before we tipped.
Yeah.
And it's not like, again, you're having a $140, $150 meal for free. And okay, some people.
And great food.
Yeah. And I get all inclusive. I get that. But somebody is still doing a service for you. Somebody's still bringing you that food. Somebody's still bringing you those drinks and clearing your plate and asking you, do you want another drink? Or do you want more? How is everything? Like, isn't that worth $5? Isn't that worth a 10 spot? So that's what I learned, that because we were there 90-10, putting it on the 90, y'all don't tip. And something ain't right with that all-inclusive thing. Like, y'all have a mind frame of everything's inclusive. Everything.
Yeah. And that money goes to resorts. That is not trick. I mean, and don't get me wrong, the workers not working for free. Yeah, they get their wages, but we know tips go a long way. And it was shocking to see. I mean, because y'all, no exaggeration, nobody. I'm talking about getting up from the table. I was looking at people's tables like, wow, nobody is. It was just shocking.
They had a fine dining establishment there where you had to get dressed.
It was just one restaurant that had
and put clothes on, like no beach attire, anything like that. And
the other ones were more casual.
And then you went in there, and I'm talking about a table of 6, 8, 10 people, old white people in their 40s and 50s, eat up a meal.
Or 60s
eat up
70s.
A meal, and then get up and just walk away. Not fucking 4 quarters on it. Not $1 on the table. Like, how do you do that when somebody's doing a service for you? That's just what I learned.
Yeah.
3 grams. Tennessee passes bill requiring drunk drivers to pay child support if they kill a parent of a minor. I saw that and I agree with that.
Me too.
Wholeheartedly. I think any punishment for a drunk driver is suitable.
Yep. I think it's a shame when so many we see stories where like drunk drivers, they do some time but a small amount, or they get off and have to do like a program. Baby sleepy. Or have to do like a program or something like that. Like I said earlier, no shade to people who drink alcohol. It is what it is. But the dumbest thing you can do is drinking and driving. Like, seriously, it's stupid and it's so harmful. And we talked about this before. I've been there, done that. I thank God that I'm here today to still talk and that I didn't hurt myself or anybody else. But as grown adults, people really be out here blasted and drinking. If you kill somebody and now somebody else has to take care of that person's child, loved one or not, you should be responsible for paying child support for that child because you took their. I feel like if you killed somebody and they didn't leave any children, God forbid somebody hurt my spouse, you should be responsible for paying me spousal support because you took my spouse away. Like there it should, because it's the dumbest thing you could do. So you should be responsible. If any job you get, your income taxes, they should take your money and make you have to pay.
Yep, I think it should be along the lines of a sex offender. Should have laws like that for drunk drivers. Like, I don't give a shit what punishment you get for drunk driving. You should get it. Like, if they had a law that said you got life in jail for drunk driving, they'd be like, shouldn't do it. That's how I would feel about it. It'd be like, you shouldn't do it. Like, that's just some dumb shit. And you take somebody's kid, take somebody's spouse away just because you thought you could get home. Like, and you fucking drunk. And there's so many fucking resources. Uber, Lyft, friend, whatever, cab, like walk, whatever the case may be, car service, like.
Did you say walk?
Whatever the fuck, I mean, whatever. But guess what? You ain't killed nobody. You ain't dead. Like, whatever the case may be. It's just crazy. Raiders owner Mark Davis said he would love to have Kaepernick on the team. I would love to see Cap.
Do you ever think that Cap is really going to get another try?
No. it comes with too much. Yeah, it comes with too much. Plus, you sued the job, the company that you want a job at.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna hire you back ever, and you won. So they gave you millions of dollars in a lawsuit, and it was undisclosed, which everybody thinks it was like 80-90 million dollars, but you won, and they're not gonna hire you back, bro.
Do you think he could go to like the USFL
Yeah,
or
in
the
a heartbeat.
Arena Football
In a
League or
heartbeat.
something?
In a heartbeat, but that's not. It's like saying, you know, it's no, you can't do that. It's like
That's
you
like
know,
demoting yourself.
yeah, it's not the level he plays on. He's a NFL starting quarterback. You can't go to the USFL. Nobody would give a shit.
But do they get paid?
Yeah, but not the money that. I mean, he's rich, baby. He's got hundreds of
Yeah,
millions.
so
of
he
dollars.
wouldn't be doing it for the money, but
no, he's doing it because he loves it. He's staying ready for 5 years because he loves it. It just hasn't clicked to him that
you
the
can't
people
work
I'm asking for, yeah, it's a conflict of interest to them to hire you if you just beat them in a lawsuit for $90 million.
You would have thought
5 years
I
ago.
would think that would have been like written into like, okay, this is your payment, the lawsuit, and there was also like a separation agreement. Like
that's probably discrimination, but they can also just decline to give you any. They can just
anybody,
leave it open. We're not going to put any language in there, but everybody knows, unheard of. Don't bring them in for no tryouts.
Okay.
The owners, it's only 32 of them. They talk all the time. Like nobody brings him in. Okay, we're good.
All right. In all honesty, was he really a great player, or was he just a good player?
He was a really good player. He wasn't great. He was a really good player.
Okay.
He's better than 15 quarterbacks in the league now, and it's only 32 teams. He's better than 15 to 17 guys now.
Okay.
Yeah, some guys stink. Like stink. Cap got skills. He's not Tom Brady, or Drew Brees or anybody like that, but he got skills.
Okay.
David Banner says 90% of the music is detrimental to the black community. 1,000% agree with that. All hip hop music is now drug usage, where it used to be drug sellage. Is that a word?
We'll make it a word.
Okay, drug sellage. We're gonna go with it. Now it's drug usage. Infidelity, appropriating women, drugs, illegal activity. Yeah, all that shit is all in hip hop music. It's very few artists who don't rap about that stuff, and that's the Jay-Z's, the Nas's, the people who have grown up, the Pusha T's and shit like that. Like they have evolved into people who talk about shit that they're going through now.
I think I heard some rhetoric about Pusha T's album where somebody said like he too would be rapping about selling crack, but I think he was telling his personal experience.
I think that's what this album was about,
songs.
which I got from the album. From the interview with Charlamagne, is that he was telling the story of how his life was.
Okay.
So it's not like this is what I'm doing now.
Gotcha.
So some people might turn it on and be like, "Oh shit, he's still rapping about crack and bricks and stuff." But no, it's all it's storytelling.
You know, this music today makes me realize.
But lean.
I am on the other side of 40. I don't know any, like, if you ask me to name, okay, you know how they play like the top 10?
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me to name 3 songs that would be in the top 10 today, I don't know what they play on the radio. Like, I don't, okay, the Power 99 is still, like, in circulation, right?
Don't know.
Okay, so I don't know. I don't know any songs that they play on the radio. I would I would have to like pull it out of the thin air.
They put so many. This generation puts out so much music. The song that's on this week is not on next week. Yeah, it just changes so rapidly. And I haven't listened to Power 99 in years.
No, but I was just wondering, is it still like a station? Like
it's probably a station, but it could be fucking gospel for all we know.
Yeah,
It could be R&B. It could be country. I don't know. I haven't had it on in a long time. But it used to be Philadelphia's hip hop station.
Like, I know the names of certain artists just from
Only station I know is the same as WDAS.
You put me on to
It's been the same since I was a little boy.
No, but WDAS, you turn on WDAS, you will hear some songs like, how is this WDAS? Like,
that's on certain days, like a Saturday night or something, or I think a Friday night they get a little section of hip hop going on.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's the Tony Brown voice stuff.
You put me on recently to a song by Saweetie.
Mm-hmm.
But that was I think that's an old song too. I had never heard it before. I couldn't name 3 of the top 10 songs today. So but I agree. That's part of the reason why the music I just don't relate to it anymore. So I agree. It's very misogynistic. Not that has ever bothered me.
That's the word I was looking for. Misogynistic. It's all misogynistic.
Yeah, that has never really bothered me. But I just it all sounds the same.
How could it? I mean, you know what? In the 90s, it was different because songs like NWA, problematic. The Preacher's, the Door. Hold on. That Snoop Dogg, Bitches Ain't Shit. Those songs, although you bopped your head to them and remember being places to them, you can't hear them now. Well, like they make you cringe, and it's not something that I could put on in a car that you still have the same feeling that you did in the 90s where it's on, you bopping, and you not really hearing
Well,
it.
you know, NWA, I've never listened to that, and that song about that 14-year-old girl, I will never listen to again. I had never heard that before until last year, and that song is probably from 1985?
That's probably for like 1992, 93.
Horrible. Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style, that's my album.
But I'm just saying, Bitches Ain't Shit is problematic.
But what I'm saying, for me, it never I always kind of had the position like, he ain't talking about me. It's just a song. So, I mean, in his mind, he probably like, yeah, I'm talking about all of y'all. But I never internalized it in that way to be like, oh my God, this is so cruel to sing about women. I never looked at it in that aspect. So, but again, I wouldn't want my nieces to listen to it either.
Because it's misogynistic.
Yeah.
And you know something wrong with it.
Yeah.
Let's do a wrap. Act 2 the podcast, episode 68. It's a wrap. Boy National Walk, co-hostess with the mostest.
Chocolate Tosh. I was gonna say my name.
Act2thepodcast.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public, TikTok, Breaker, Spotify. You can catch us on all those platforms, doing what we do, talking shit, having great conversation. Check us out. If y'all fuck with us, y'all fuck with us. If you don't, God damn it, you should. Peace.